Arnold Palmers are delicious. I like an Arnold Palmer. Especially the Arizona one. How's it going, Demon Slayer? Thank you, wifey. Oh, we're flying in already. I can need to make the graphic bigger across the whole screen for that. What do you think? Okay, let's sound alerts. I don't know if I can make it screen shake, but it should be now the whole screen, or mostly the whole screen. So, no shake at the workbench. Damn these gnats. Flies like right in my eye. There you go. Howdy, Sanders. And the clang is gigantic. Look at me. You're lurking at your D&D sesh. Oh, awesome. Lurk away, sir. Appreciate you showing up. All right, so we're going to start off the evening. Working on the base. So we need to do some cleanup. Work with this blue first. Do through. And I've got the colors for my next night. I'm going to go with next night is going to be Space Wolf's Gray with Screaming Bell highlights. So, should be a pretty nice color combo, I feel. Oh, there, Herdic Scott. How you doing this evening? Starting off by working on the base, which is part that I got to work on. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to do some painting on here for the Wraith Knight arm. Brain, 100%. Used up all my brain today. Studio now, organizing a million things. That's fair. There's nothing quite like an organized studio. All right. That's that. Put it back. Lots of stuff to do. Well, that's there. Okay. Good organized studios are the life. Okay. Wraithbone. It's Wraithbone. Wraithbone. Silken Gray. Spots. Okay. I switched over my image rotation to eye bleach because I'm tired of seeing the same stuff over and over again. Damn. Is it a resin or it's got curing? Or is it like a... Also, that'd be like a... It's gotta be a resin top coat. The more I think about this. Goodness. Wraith bone is a little chunky. Epoxy base with 2K polyurethane top coat. Okay. Never done. I thought about doing like an epoxy counter with like pennies or something like that, or a floor like done. I've seen those done. They look really nice, but tend to be a monumental amount of work. And it's like, I am wiped out of the gardening we did this past weekend. I mean, it was a decent amount, but that was enough to wipe me out. So it's like beer caps. Nice. I thought about that for my bar, and I have enough bottle caps to do it, but I saw the amount of work and I was like, I end up having leftover pieces of vinyl plank flooring. I use that for the countertop for the bar. Takes 2 weeks to reach total stability, but usable after 20. Nice. Okay. Yeah, for my bar's countertop, I used luxury vinyl plank flooring. It's waterproof. Do for the Wraith blade here, Wraith bone sword, whatever you want to call it. Going to see if I can get something in there. It's contrast. Going to get a base coat of Wraith bone white. That's what I'm doing right now. And once that base coat is on, I'm going to got a burp. Going to contrast it down with, got a light that's flickering. Contrast it down with something. I'm still working on what I want to do for that. Which color? Maybe snake bite, or maybe a brown. Or actually, I have a nice kind of grayish bluish gray that would work. I think could be nice. And then I'll dry brush on top with some highlights of more Wraith bone. And get into touching slow. Them some big ass words. That's a lot of scientific speaking that I don't know. I don't know the sciences. I can tune a carburetor, but I don't know chemical compounds much. You could have told me it was an ice cream emulsion, and I probably would have believed you. Hello there, Surge Main 69. Welcome to Wraith Knight basing. You a fan of all the 40Ks with the new editions and stuff coming up? And if so, what's your favorite army? You're interested. All right. Well, do you know anything? Do you know much about the Warhammer universe? You just painted a squad of raptors. Okay. So okay, I'm guessing you know something. Well, I go by the producer's son. It's my Twitchy handle. I've been involved in this hobby for over 30 years. Playing 40K since the second edition. Same with was Warhammer Fantasy, and it's now the Old World. Right now, I am working on Chaos Knights, which are the chaosified version of the big stompy robots. And Demon Slayer is giving you the fantastic short version, get that reference, of the hobby. But Chaos Knights are my Chaos Knights. I tend to go hog wild and customize stuff. That's just me. All my knights are corn flavored, hence they all have bleeding blood letters coming out of various spots. They're munching on things. And I'm go over the top involved with the bases. That being said, you bought a knight already. Did you buy a big one? Well, if you bought a knight, then you bought one of the bigger ones. So since you're doing raptors, you're obviously doing chaos. These are the chaos knights. If you have not assembled your chaos knight, I highly, 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 highly recommend getting a magnetization kit from these people here, the Magnet Baron. It's no drill. There we go. It's a no drill kit. You bought the Questoris. Okay. So the Questoris chassis if you're playing Chaos as Chaos Knights, can be built as the Despoiler. This guy right here. This is my Knight Despoiler. I have him set up with twin dual Gatling. You don't have to have that though. You can run, with the battle cannon. Or it's actually a disaster creator laser cannon, but that kind of stuff. But I highly recommend picking up the magnetization kit for it, only because this is a pretty expensive model, and you're very thank you. That's a trick I use. Not trick, it's a technique I use with a heavy dry brush of metallic paint, then covered over with a contrast paint. Gives it this kind of metallic shine. Did the same thing for this guy here, only his is a different shade. This kind of turquoisey shine-ish going on. But anyway, the big expensive knight kits are delightful. They're awesome, but the only difference between one and the other realistically is the weapons. So if you can switch out the weapons, you can get like 4 knights out of one kit. That's where there's a bit of kit bashing. These are the chains that come with it. I just route them differently. These are the chains that are normally on there. For the Despoiler though, since it's technically an Imperial Knight, your Questoris chassis, it doesn't have chains. So I used extra chain pieces from other models to put the chains across the cockpit like it is on the rest. And this bit down here, the banner, is actually leftovers from a Bloodletter kit. One of these Chaos Demons down here. That's what I did to make the banners. And then the shoulder pad is just a lot of skulls. Because, corn. And that one's got, knight trophies. But, yeah, you're going to, there's, again, I'd say get the magnets. You can save a lot of money, unless you're only going to fill it one way, then don't stress. Or if you just want to build it as a Questoris and go with Imperial Knights, hey, you can do that too. But the Knights are fun. They're very different in style than other stuff. Painting them is actually easier than some people think. Sometimes painting the big models gives you a little bit, is not as hard. You can go crazy if you want to get into the extra detail. But you don't have to go that crazy. I just find it fun. So. If you have them allied, are they worse? No, so if you're going to use, you can use up to 500 points of Chaos Knights in with a Chaos Army. They aren't any worse, but you don't get some of the stratagems, and there's stratagems and enhancements that can only be taken with Chaos stuff. Chaos on the Knights themselves can't be used on the allies. Like if they're allies, they don't get the stratagems and the stuff that would benefit them as much. That being said, there's still a beefy, tanky model that is hard to kill. So you've got that. I wouldn't say they're worse. They're just a little more restricted in what they can do. Chaos Knights have an ability. They all have auras and stuff that they can get. Death Guard Combat Patrol. Yeah. One, for Combat Patrol, you can only use the minis in the Combat Patrol. So that is that. If you're going to add a Chaos Knight with your Combat Patrol, you're probably going to be close to 1,000 points, but I don't know if you can, because they have to check on the allied, how much you can take in allies. There might be a points restriction, which that potentially will be changing next week because the new edition comes out. So you might have to take more Death Guard first, and then get up to the point where you can have the Knight as an addition. The Death Guard themselves are one of the strongest factions. That being said, having a Knight, never really a bad thing, but it's just a different tool you can use, a different thing you can have in your arsenal. They do make a solid. Damn it! It busted off. No, I didn't. Did I? Gotta be careful with that. Oh, is it booze o'clock? Thank you. Thank you very much. Salute to everybody. Has some tasty rum. But yeah, you can, in my opinion, I think there are, if you're running Death Guard, you may be better suited to take some of the more Death Guard units initially, but of the rum, yeah, I did not have an open one, so. Death Shroud, is that the Terminators? Death Shroud Terminators? That being said, if you are doing Nurgle, which Death Guard, Nurgles, there are a huge amount of really... Yeah, the Terminus, the Death Shroud Terminus. Okay, I did remember that correctly. They are super duper strong. They're a strong, strong unit. Yeah, always have been and pretty much always will be. There are lots of really, really well done Nurgle Chaos Knight conversions. I think there's a lot of really good looking ones, so you can get some fun inspiration. Yeah. I'd say before you make any more commitments to like picking up stuff, unless you want the models, don't get me wrong, if you want the cool model, buy the cool model. But before you really get into any more, is this unit good for my army or not, just hold off for like a week. Because we don't know what the points are yet for anything. So once that hits with the basically once we actually get to see what the points are, then it'll be more like, oh, is this good? Is this bad? Not for the day. Some adults are grown-ups, the same way of holding truth. That's very true. I'll drink to that. But anyway, I would say just hold off until the points come out on the field manual, because we don't know. We don't know what it's going to be, what's going to be good, what's going to be bad point-wise yet. And there's definitely going to be some clarifications and some balance stuff going on right off the bat, because for Chaos Knights, there's some rules that are a little like the Abominant, who is the Psychic Knight. Their weapons don't have the Psychic keyword, but the Knight does. Now, weapons with the Psychic keyword, they've stated, ignore all modifiers. So that's huge. But the Knight has a Psychic keyword, but his weapons don't. It seems a little bit like a little... you will be able to still run 3 Defilers. I don't know what the points are going to be, though, because that's something else that they're working on, is they want to, if you're to take multiple of the same unit that's not a battle line unit, the points cost is going to be increased. Kind of as a way to defeat the 3 Defiler meta. If they make it prohibitive where, okay, you still can. They're not saying you can't, it's just going to be really expensive to do so. Because that was not their intention, to make it everyone has to have a Defiler. Just like in the Chaos Knights, the dual Gatling Despoiler, that's pretty much the meta army, is 3 of these beasties. Which I don't want to do. I want more variety. That's why I also have things like a stabby boy here that likes to poke the shit out of me. The Abominant. Who's the Psychic Knight. Which that's where I'm curious to see what the clarifications are going to be on his rules, because if his weapons don't benefit from the Psychic keyword, and then he's got the Psychic keyword just for makes him weaker. Whereas if he does get the benefit of the Psychic keyword from his weapons, that's good. Some of the models I really want to run, literally... Well, Nurgle, Death Guard, that's Nurgle. Nurgle. But and that's a fun thing. If you're going to be doing just casual games. Make the models the way you want them. Don't stress if it's, perfect or not. Or, hey, my guys aren't equipped the exact way or things like that. Because realistically, it doesn't matter. Like, all my knights have blood letters in them. Does the blood letter do anything other than throw pieces of sponge? No. I did it because it looks cool. This guy's literally chewing on a space marine. Bad anything? Me. If you're just doing, casual gameplay, don't, pick up the models you want. As long as the bases are the same, weapons are... Fair enough. For Warhammer 40k, I have an old Grey Knight army, which isn't really playable anymore because the models are too old and aren't on the right bases and also are not equipped with the right weapons. I also have Dark Angels, which are in progress, Tyranids, and then Harlequins, which will get for the 40Ks. For Age of Sigmar, I've got Night Haunts and Hellsmiths of Hishut, also known as Chaos Dwarves. Don't really have anything for Necromunda at the moment. They're a very old gang. Yeah, and then 11th edition will have orcs, because I do love the orc models in 11th. The stuff they've been doing with those models look great. So... And, of course, Chaos Knights, which is the one I'm pushing on to get done for a league at the store I go to. For... What are we doing? They're already working on... One of the guys is working on the logistics behind a league. So... Is the dinosaur guy as good model-wise? All the Crocs, oh god, I can't remember their name. Pterodons and Croxicores and stuff. I think the models are good. I loved instead of having horses, they have velociraptors as mounts. My favorite models for Age of Sigmar at the moment are the Hellsmiths of Hashut, followed closely by the Skaven. Just some of the Skaven models look amazing right now. But I cannot remember the name of them, but the dinosaur folks, the lizard men, basically, it might just be lizard men. Lizard men have cool looking models. Like, I mean, come on, they're literally riding velociraptors for horses. Ooh, let me test a button real quick. It worked on both. Fantastic. Cog forts are not restricted to any army. So any army in Age of Sigmar can have a cog fort.
For the Emperor!
There's the sad, coned up puppy. And a poor puppy. She's still recovering. But yeah, the cog forts are universal to any army. You can, and there's tons of like brilliant kit bash, because I've seen lots of Nurgle ones. I've seen a really cool Skaven cog fort. There's a lot. The cog forts are cool. So you'll let this dry a little bit in a few spots all over here before it can really start finishing at the details on that. So we will go to my technical paint. Actually, let's just work on the bloodletters before I do that. Black Templar's contrast. Shit, puppers. Yeah, the cog forts are cool. Definitely like them. I'm not gonna get one, but I like them. Oh yeah, it is that time. You should go check to make sure the garden lights are on. It's okay, puppers. She'll be right back. I know you can. Mommy went outside without you. I have heard that too, Serge. You don't mind me calling you Serge. I absolutely have heard that. That's sweet there on. Pardon the weird noises, my phone. I have not, but I bought mine at a Warhammer store to support the manager there. So I didn't expect it. I know he's got the boxes. I go there every week just to hang out and paint and chat. And I was there today. I go there every Sunday, and he's got the boxes. He's like, I've got 60 boxes back here, so looks good, hun. You should go down when it's dark. Okay. But I have heard that you're now the second or third person I've heard that from. That their boxes shipped out early and they've got them early. It's not that big a deal, honestly. Because GW hasn't released the points yet. Well, the Warhammer employees got to get it ready for the demos. So I've already seen the minis. As the manager had the minis out for people to look at. And while he was getting them ready to get painting them up for the demos and everything. And to show them off. But seems loud. If you're not running them, it is a powerful unit. But if it's not your style, don't worry about it. Oh, Demon Slayer. Speaking of that, it's called the Big Mech Dacker rig. That's definitely not the right color. For the Big Mech Dacker rig, you got to look at it closely. It's a squig. I had the wait, sorry, get distracted by grabbing a paint. The manager was showing me that, and I guess in the book it talks about how they wanted it to be, the design language was squig shape. Basically, it's a squig. And I was like, really? And then I was looking at it, I'm like, it is a squig. So Ah, it makes complete sense. We do have a squig thing kind of in the family. Exactly. Let's see a Morgan Squigman, all the squigs we got going on here. My wife's webcomic, Orkin, or not webcomic, her comic, Orkin Squig. Oh, I just realized something. Gotta fix that. That's dangerous, Heretic Scott. That is very, very dangerous. Because that just lends it to, well, there's a tiny bit I'm not finding. Put a flashlight near there so you can use it to find the bits. I want Calgar in a Decker rig. You could kit batch Calgar into a Decker rig. Yeah, the automat's a little wonky. I see no reason why you can't kit batch that there, Serge. There's no reason not to have Calgar in a Decker rig. As entertaining as it would be, I highly doubt they'll release Calgar in a Decker rig. What do I want to... Griff Charger? Let's mix up this gray. It's not very blue, it's mostly grayish. Chaos Land Raider. That's one of the oldest kits there is, honestly. Or use that in the details. Land Raiders are solid. Strong unit. The toughest marine tank without going into the super heavies. I can't remember the name of the super heavy tank, the Graf tank. It's like a long name. I'm all for picking up kits you enjoy. Heck, I've got a Yark, and I don't have any Imperial Guard. I don't have an Imperial Guard. Not sure. I know there's. I don't think there's. I mean, there's the there's multiple versions of Land Raiders. There's a Crusader, which is the one with all the. That can hold more people, but doesn't have as much heavy armament as a regular Land Raider. It's got more anti-infantry armament. To be honest, I don't know off the top of my head. I just have the regular Land Raider for the Dark Angels. And then there's the super heavy. That's like a big one. I don't think it's in Legends. I don't think. Might be in Legends. But it's a Titanic unit. So it's on par with Titans. So it's a lot of points for something very physically expensive model, like dollar-wise. Really expensive points-wise. Not really all that effective on the battlefield. It's like the Titans, they're cool. I want one. I'm not going to pay Titan money. And they're not really worth it. Gameplay wise. Just do like all kinds of special stuff to play them. Sorry, I can't really see what I'm doing because I'm painting the underside of this. Maybe. Now let that contrast dry. And that's blades. Let that dry up completely, and then I'm going to dry brush on probably a white over it. Since I did just get my white. Because I was out of white. Excelsior. Excelsior. Take a look at that in a bit. All right, so back on the bloodletters. I think they're pretty much ready for shading. So, switch brushes. Let's get on this brush. Get it wet. Grab my noodle oil, Nuln oil. Mastodon. I wonder if that's the one I'm thinking of. Is it a grav tank? There's like two sections. There's like a smaller section front, big section in the back with a giant twin link turrety thing on the back. right. Not a graphic. Okay, then I am thinking something else. What I'm thinking of then? I'm thinking of beans with an A. The super heavy grav tank. So at the moment now, I am doing a heavy shade of Nuln oil, the famous Nuln oil. This is going to seep into the cracks, nooks and crannies, and just add a little bit of a breakup on the details. Once the shading is done, then I will... Ooh, that's way too much. Go in and do highlighting, where I'm going to bring the highs back up, because at the moment everything's getting a little dulled out. But that's okay. This is specifically to get the lows down on the nooks and crannies. Fill in areas you don't want to... It's hard to get to, just around things. So... And then specifically because I'm going with a very dirty look, because I want my cast knights to be old and beat up. That's why I'm hitting these all with a very heavy shade. And once I have done and gone through all the highlighting, then I'll start the assembly process, where I'm going to do the final assembly on the model. And from there, then I will do a dry brush of a silver, Runefang silver to be precise, as a way to pick out, make it look like the metal's, paint's getting chipped, stuff's worn in spots. All right. We'll be here for at least a couple hours. But yeah, so I'll be doing a highlight round. After this, these bloodletters, now that they're shaded, I'll be also hitting them with a dry brush of probably another pink, or that's what I did on these guys. And then I also got to pick up the details on the face. All right. Let that dry over there. Over here. That contrast still a little wet. Over here. So. Stay open, Nuln oil. You're almost done. Your service is almost complete. Bottle of Nuln oil. Almost complete. Not quite yet, though. Not finished yet. Owe me more service. Still drazzles of your blood left for me. Still have use of your blood. Blood, 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 blood. blood, 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 blood. Blood, 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 blood. Let's go through. And can you check the weather and see if it's supposed to storm tonight? I don't think it is, but blood, blood. Shouldn't storm tonight. What line are you thinking of, Jay? Because I am a Monsters fan of Hitchhiker's Guide. I mean, I do sound slightly like a Vogon. Oh. I don't remember that line, but that is an obscure one. How you doing this evening, sir? Yes, Lula. Yes, Lula. I should reread those. Sounds like it sounds correct. So I could fully believe it. Oh, my legs. It is. Fair enough. And I am also a Monsters fan of the books, TV series, and honestly, even the movie was fun. Okay, so that's drying. Those are drying. Let's get on to the touch-ups. Touch-ups. Let's do my Blood for the Blood God. Technical paint Blood for the Blood God. Priced out the difference. Okay. Do you have to order the deleting paper somewhere special, or can you get it? Yeah, I just got to order it from Jet Pens. Okay. Oh darn! You have to shop at Jet Pens. Whatever will you do? So many spikes. So many bloody spikes. Very pokey. How's Jersey? No, paint. Make all the spikes wet. Let's take a bit. Slowly working on this. $89. Oh no. You don't have AC in your apartment? Seems odd. Figured that it would have air conditioning. Oh, Seattle, Noma. You did mention that once before, Jay, on how very few people have AC out there. Yep. Just because I'm making all these. All my nights are bleeding from the cockpits. So, keeping up with the theme. All right, so that's that. Pretty much the carapace is done. And then I did a little bit of highlighting. So, that's still wet. Okay. See it spots. Excuse me. Do blood highlights on the spikes. We had a few days of 90s. It's supposed to cool down here next week a bit, although we've had some violent storms. So. Another rip roar last night. Spikes done. Those are done. Those are done. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's got it. So I just gonna let the shoulder pads need to dry so I can finish those up. Now it's on to the contrast. Has got a little bit more to go, looks like. It's good. Forward doesn't mild. I would love it to be mild because we don't have air conditioning at work. Well, okay, there's some air conditioning in the building, just not in our area. For whatever reason that may be. My Ruined Fang Silver. This is almost done. The point where, wow, my hand is blown out. Ooh-wee. I'm crispy. Look at that. So this is almost done. Like we can see just how little there is. Just a tiny bit at the bottom there. So I had to go pick up another one of these today. Realistically, I think I'll have this guy probably be finished tomorrow, but I'll have to except for the base. I guess that's the last thing I'll have to get done on this is the base. Not guess, it's probably assembling the next night while I wait for the base to be in a spot so I can finish it. So do a little bit of dry brush on the gun here. Just a little bit of dry brushing. Do need to put a dab of black contrast in there to black out the barrel. Dry brush on these exhaust stacks. Throw the exhaust stacks at me. Because you might say, I'm exhausting. That one's for you, wife. It was so good, she's ignoring me. Something I'm used to. Touch up a few black spots. Okay. There, this out because it definitely clogged out. Dry brush. Always take care and clean your brushes, folks. You want them to last long? Take care of your tools. You take care of your tools will take care of you. So, absolutely something to live by. Feels like it's mostly ready. So, swamp back over. So this gun, let's do a quick stamp of Black Templar's contrast in barrel. So I can call that finished. The reason I use Black Templar's contrast is that it is liquidy. Is this the 00? Yeah, that's the 00. Ba-dum-bumps. I caught that one, Jay. I'll drink to that. The rum is gone. Okay, so that gun is done. So we've got the fucking stabby. Carapace is finished. The gun is finished. Mask and head are finished. Shield's finished. That needs touch-ups. This needs highlighting. Exhaust stacks need a little bit of cleanup. That's done. That plate is done. That piece is done. Installing monitors. Oh. Why are you installing lizards? Lizard. 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 So that contrast was... I don't even know what movie that's from with the lizard hitting the button going, lizard, lizard. I just know the gif. Alright, so was it the white screen? Oh yeah, this is the one that got weirded out. That goes away onto new white scars. And the rum's gone. You know what, wife? Pretty, pretty wifey. I will trade you one ASMR of opening a new paint pot for, oh. But new ASMR. Yes, I am sad. I'm sure the microphone picked her up. Her cackling at me. All right. There you go. New paint pot open. That it needs a bit of a mix. Looks like.
For the Emperor!
Lula Cam says Lula is slowly sliding off the pillow. Oh. The point where she corrected herself. I was very happy to be opened. All right, get back to mixing this. that's better consistency now. Yep. Nowhere near as watery. Okay, good. Okay, so 2. Another. Oof, good gravy. What's going on? There we go. Make sure you get mixed. Okay. Yeah, no peps. Hopefully you'll be able to get out of the cone soon. Just realized I missed the whole side of that with the contrast. Oh, I missed a couple bits of that. Didn't fix that up. We're just putting on a white dry brush over, contrast it up, going a little heavy on this because I'm going to pick part details and things. I'm also going to scar it up, mark it up. Gems. It's getting kind of a neat look. All right. What do you call a fish with no eyes? I don't know. Please enlighten us. If this nicely done. Let's Griff Church of Gray. Beautifully done there, Heretic Scott. Beautifully done. All right, that's right. So then I want to go with the Dari Emerald contrast. On the gems sword here. That way you look almost like they're dulled out and fading because sword is broken. Turned out really good. I'm pleased with that. Let's do a kinetic ally. Huh? You should. There is a cake monster in the kitchen. Cake. Well, it's your cake, so you should enjoy it. Huh? Oh. What? Apparently, I'm getting some. I did not know that was happening. My favorite cake? On this look. What? Do you have some for you? I'll take it then. I do need a fork though. Thank you very much. So I've got cake. All right. I'm gonna finish painting on this little detail that I'm painting right now. There's a dog here on that. Is this the last of the cake? Okay, good. No. Well, Heretic Scott, I could eat it without the fork, but then I'm sure we would get some sort of like content violation. The cake looks pretty real to me. See, I can touch it, touch, touch, touch. Yeah, it's still a fantastic cake. I'm making it. I don't think it would actually be a content violation. I'm saying that if I were to maul this thing without, use of proper utensils, it would be that to, a pack of ravenous hyenas coming across a wounded elephant somewhere in the Serengeti plains, while a school bus of young orphans is out on their once-a-year field trip, and they get to witness this. And when Sister Sabrina has to explain to the young kids, what did the poor elephant do wrong? As they cry. So there's a while ago, I came up with the thought of how my brain works. And I have the perfect analogy for how my brain works. Imagine a room full of kittens doing everything that a room full of kittens would entail. Some are playing, some are sleeping, 2 of them are barfing. There's one over there pooping in a corner. You know, all those things are what happens. Every now and then, someone throws a ball into the room full of kittens, and their attention, instant, focused like lasers. And then something happens in my brain. And then it goes back to being, ooh, shiny object. Oh, that one needs to get bitten. You know, things like that. Yeah, this cake is pretty damn ridiculous. If you are anywhere that has a Korean bakery called Paris Baguette, I highly recommend it. This is their double chocolate chiffon cake. It is fucking amazing. Enjoy the cake. You too, sir. We'll get you another one. But that is my brain as a visual metaphor. Good gravy. You should have, because we have decaf downstairs. So welcome, viewers, to Miniature Painter Eats Cake, special edition. Also known as How to Use Cake to Enhance Your Miniatures. And no, you should not eat your miniatures. Mm-hmm. Hey, amazing wife, can I pester you to take the plate? Please. What the dog doing? Hey, hon, can you grab the plate for me, please? Thank you. Well, do it. Thank you for the cake. Now you can watch as I paint an entire army in the next 15 minutes. Just blah, sugar. Going to be bracelet weird. All right, so excuse me, good gravy. I kind of wonder what the inside of Wraith Bone looked like. What to think about that? Oh, I did want to use this is some Darkroth flesh on the grip. I do not know what the inside of your head looks like. There's a gem back there. I gotta touch up. I'm guessing the inside of your head would look similar to the inside of all of our heads. Full of marshmallows. Wonderful little marshmallows. Alright, wants to supply power absolutely everything at once. Quite possible. Oh, hell on, mine looks like it in a thing it pins. Okay. Let's see. Wiring. Let's run some correnders. Come on. I'm doing the super blue, which is nice, bright blue. Blue. The reason I switched off with the blue for the idea for the big night is I was worried about the red for the decals getting lost on this blue, because the red is very pale on those decals. This is a very strong blue. I think you wouldn't see it as well. It's like the red didn't show up on the green very well, just because it's a very dark red, very pale red. So I think it'll be better on the gray. Oh, so there you go, Heretic Scott. It's a library, Dewey Decimal style, where half the lights go in and out periodically, and someone has to go to the basement and flip the breakers now and then. How's that? Feel free to use it. Okay, so the wires painted up. Yeah, we'll need to do some Stratum gray. No, do it. First, I need to do this and clean that up. And then I need to dry brush onto dry brush.
Death to the foul warriors of chaos.
Alright, enhance it. Then I'm muttering to myself as the steps I need to do for the arm. Because I've got the... Ah! Where did that green get dropped on there? Son of a biscuitness. There's a drop of green that's spilled. Emergency, emergency. Q-tip. Could fix that down there. Hold on a sec. I know, I'm not on the screen for the enhancement, but I'm gonna have to fix this. I didn't notice the drop of the Crander's green dropped on this part right here. And so I gotta kind of wash this off as best I can. Okay, so all right, so I also have to fix that up a little bit, touch that up. Anywho's, all right, here are these. Didn't catch that. It is an arm from a Wraith Knight. This needs to be replaced. Avatar Cane is much smaller. Figure how I'm going to fix that, but I'll figure out how to fix it. So anyway, so I'm going to, next up is I need to dry brush over the red here, but I don't know what color I want to use with that. I almost think I should use or I just shade it up. Null oil, heavy in there. To a heavy bit of shading. So that's what I'm going to do. Heavy bit of shading on the arm to get into the details, and then I'll hit it with a dry brush. And then I'll do all the gems I need to do with an administrative gray first. Then I can, once I've got them gray, then I can hit them with a light dry brush of a silver on those. And then hit it with a contrast for the emerald. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll shade this up. Bring it down a bit and make it sad. Before I get in there. Okay. You done drawing for the night? You should go out and look at the front garden. Now that it's much darker out. And check and see how if the lights over the birds look, please. That's almost a spill. So I need to fix. Not very much, honestly. Or just to a bit of. Watered down. Refill in there. Okay. And I'll hit it with a contrast and it'll be good. Okay. So we let that dry up a bit now with that shade. So now that we're done that brush does not go over there. Brush goes there. We're going to grab our Balthazar Gold, which is the trim color I have on this knight. We're going to mix it. We're going to burp. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. How's it look? They don't? Oh, I know why. I know exactly why. I forgot to set up the timer on the new scene that I created. So, okay, I can fix that. Just said I'm not. That's done. All right. There's a hair on this brush. And what I'm doing is bringing a little bit of the color of Balthazar Gold, which is this beautiful kind of rosy bronze color, in a few spots. And then this is all going to get dry brushed with a little bit of Rune Fang silver, a little bit of just kind of wear and tear, scratches and things, but I'll do that at the end. Do that after the model is fully assembled so that my weathering is consistent. I worry that if I were to do it while separate, I might do some heavier than others. Just wouldn't look that good to me. All right, so claw is done. Let's get these knee pads or shin paddy things, what they're actually. Tiniest bit of this paint in a few spots. Don't want to go crazy. It's pretty much good to go. Take this, a little bit here. I feel that cake tonight. And wifey's this way. You said no more rum for me because you knew cake was coming. done. Aha. She was plotting for the cake delivery service. It was a delicious cake. You like the lights on the path and everything? Nah. Did you take a picture of it? Excuse me. Oh, duh. I was distracted by cake. The thought of cake has put all other conscious items from my brain. Okay, so it's done. Yeah, I like this a little bit. Still drying. See that shade? Okay, it's done. Let's get on to the Warp Strike Claw. Not Warp Strike Claw, my Crazy Slaughter Claw. So. So over the top, it's perfect. I would say do whatever is going to relax you more. Whatever you're going to get the most benefit from. And that's what you should do. Okay, so that claw's done. Shit, still wet. Let's see it. So I can get my Griff Charger Gray. Okay. Seal up the Balthazar Gold. Get the Griff Charger Gray out. Jump back over here. Get out of the way. Just kind of slowly work that in there a little bit. There we go. Then I use Darkoth Flesh for the grip of the sword. Yep. You can't even tell it happened. So that's got to dry. Alright, so seal before I make it. Huh? What drawing? Well, Heretic Scott, she is a comic book artist. The wifey is an actual comic book artist. Artiste. So, all right, we're good on this. So then I need to use my technical blood for the blood god. Yeah. And somehow she said yes to me, so I don't know where that came in. But we'll check the Discord from the 20th, hon. Oh, good. Okay. That's from that the Witch Hat Sombrero anime, right? Okay. Gander away. You should say it completely serious, hon. And see if we can watch like their faces spasm. That does give me an idea for another Orchid Squig, so. Oh, you did? How did they take it? I love doing that at work. Especially the spam callers. They'll call in and be like, I'm sorry, I don't speak English. But remind me tonight, hun. I haven't. The Witch Hat fedora made me think of another Orchid Squig comic. Yeah, she has been doing it for a few years. Just a few. Like when it comes down to like I have my streaming setup, which is mostly my little gaming corner. The third bedroom of our 3-bedroom house is her art studio. So yeah, it's. So I figured on. Like, she missed that one. Yes, puppy. Yeah.
For the Emperor!
No, because she's desperately trying to drink right now. Okay, she figured it out. Oops, wrong things. I don't know if the mic's picking up the slurping. I was going to ask you to come down and possibly take the cone off. But she got it. Good, puppy? That one spikes. Alright, so right now I'm doing the blood effect that I do for all my blood letters. Blobs of blood. Alright, there you go. Thank you much to sad puppies. Trying to figure out how to get back in her bed. Like do a rough with a color scheme or something before you paint him? I'm genuinely curious too. Ah, okay. Makes sense. When I kit bash, I just end up fucking Does this work? No idea. It's more ad hoc. For example, putting pictures up in the Discord. Ah. Nice. I'm all for the visual references. I just can't do them myself. Like I have comic ideas and I tell them to the wife because I can't get this stuff out. It's pretty much ready for... Pardon? It is time for medication. Oh, speaking of meds, I gotta call and order some. Might be up for an appointment too. I'm thinking about it. Please. Honestly, I think I'm just going to use some granite steel on the gems here. And then we're going to dry brush because I kind of want this dull tone for the Wraith Knight's arm. It's Eldari stuff is made of, is genuine, like, alive. So, for the Wraith Knight to be dead, it is dead. Dead. Paint all over my hands. So I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it, the arm being very dull. I just did, thank you. Button. But it will be offset by the gems. Gems are going to be bright on this background of... You're going to have the greenish gems will be bright colored, brought out by the silver background. We'll zoom on into this so my wife can enjoy the enhanced views. We're going to paint all of these nice silver color. Probably don't all need to be this way, but I'm going to get a bunch of them. So I'd like to hope, I don't think I'll do it tonight, probably tomorrow. I'll get the start doing the water effect gel stuff that I've got up there. The weird blue pasty stuff that goop on there. I'm going to do, because it'll seal up. And what I'm going to do is once that's, I'm going to use that to seal up. Yeah, I'm going to do that probably tomorrow on stream. The resin pours are hard to do on stream because I got to do it. I can't do it at my desk. I got to do it behind me. Try to set up the station so it doesn't leak. But I'm going to do the goopy stuff on stream, and then because I'm going to use it to build up a wall with it on this edge here, so hopefully that'll make it so the resin doesn't leak, because I can't tape over here because there's a the Wraith Knight's blade. The Wraith Knight's blade's overhanging it, so. Oh, hello there. Oh, hi, Mark. How are you today, Nightshade? Have you nightshaded your day away? That is good to hear. Yeah, I'm glad you nightshaded the days. Let's get a real fine detail brush out. And then we're going to try off my hands. May have stayed up extra late doing a thing. What be this thing you be doing? I did not. We'll look at it with Minerva tonight. I'm long story short, I'm not on the Discord anymore because I was trimming the active Discords down, and I realized that I hadn't done or seen or posted anything in there in a while, so I was like, didn't feel a need to be in there. He did that, and someone said a thing that made me think of a thing, so he did a thing. You're being very cryptic. Being very niche-y. Dude. Because it's funny. I respect that. Oh, the being cryptic. That's what I figured. But yes, I respect that. Doing it for the joke. You were committing to it. That is fantastic. I think the wifey's still on that Discord, so I can check from her side of things. Eldari Emerald. You did eat 14 pounds of cake, hun. You gave me about 25 pounds. So. Caloric plutonium. Nightshade, you should look up and see if there is a Korean bakery called Paris Baguette anywhere near you. Because there is a Paris Baguette bakery near you. That's the cake we had. It was one of their double chocolate chiffon cakes. Silk gray. Okay, so that is... I'll let that dry up, but that's mostly that done. The arm on the Wraith Knight. It's dulled out in gray, which is kind of what I want. I don't want to be the... Does look like an Eva. I don't want to be the focal point. This is just an accent. So now I just need to get in and do some touch. There aren't any close to Tam. It is delicious. We can confirm that. So I was hoping there's one near you, because then you could partake and enjoy. Okay, so to get out crazy detail brush. Get some of the new white scar. Let's mix that up some more. All right. Or when you come out to visit us, Nightshade, we'll make sure you get some Paris spaghetti. Showing some real fine details. The blood letter. Okay. Okay. Eye and teeth detail done. Let's get that brush there. Let's get some scarlets. My favorite kind of orangey red colors. Just because this guy I did the other ones, I did he's got a logo on his head. I painted the logo on the other guy's head bright orange, so. Oh, hun. Next week when I'm at the GW store, do you want me to pick up the Horse Rising book for you? I know he's got it. Or do you want to get it digitally? Okay. Random noises. Okay. There's not there's a gurgly burgly. Little do you know, Nightshade, that was my name in high school. I was talking to Eric a bit about the Horus heresy stuff. I asked if they were going to be doing if there's an omnibus for it. And he said not yet, because they're in the process of doing a bunch of them as like a hardcover special editions. So he expects that once that's done, then there might be an omnibus for it. It'd be like Omnibus Volume 1, Volume 2 kind of a deal. Push highlight in there. Yeah. Yeah, so it's that. I need to clean this off now. Weird. So I want to do another. I don't think I need to do another dry brush cut on the blood letters that came out. Oh, I got to do a wash there. A little bit of Archex Earth Shade on the teeth and eyes. Just to bring that out. Bring out the detail there. So put that there. Get that brush. Get Archex Earth Shade. Archex Earth Shade. Too much. Yeah. Stop poking yourself in my hands, please. So I think take a look at this. I'm ready for assembly. Let's take a quick glance. We're gonna review. See a few spots I can touch up. Quick, let's do some touching up stuff real. Yeah, just about ready to put this guy together. Chance it looks good. Just went through those. Check the carapace. Carapace has got blood. Yeah. But where it needs to be. Here we go. When I didn't look at too much. Chew toy looks good. Right, let's get on to okay, let's get this put away. Oh, no, there was a spot that I needed to touch up. That was on these. Actually, it's not that bad. So it's like a piece of paper stuck to this. Weird. That's actually not bad. Okay, not worried about that. All right, to the glue. Time to glue. All right, I do need these, potentially that. So let's cover up the palette before I dip my hands in anything. Alrighty, so first I need to do this piece because I didn't do this first last time. And this was a pain in the rear to get on otherwise. So the assembly process is beginning. So I do like this 2-in-1 brush and nozzle by Gorilla Glue. It does occasionally happen. This is a rare thing. You should take note of this day. Commit it to your memory. Commit this day to your memory. For it is not every day that I learn from my past self. And quite often the past self looks forward and laughs. A maniacal laugh. But not today, this day, I did learn my lesson. Read the fucking instructions, you idiot. That was the lesson. Realistically, I didn't notice that the instructions had this glued on before you did the carapace last time. So okay, that's a little head covery thing. Nope. It is did not adhere as well as I needed it to. Odd. Not that much glue. Yeah, I don't think I put enough on there. This is true. Damn it. Why am I having issues today? I wonder if this piece got warped a little. You can see where the glue is not making contact, and that's an issue. You can see on here that it's not making contact on the sides. It's supposed to. So it makes me wonder if the piece got... It is an older set, so maybe it got warped a little bit. It's possible. I've had a few of them where they're a little bit warped. All right. So sit here for a moment. Just let that firm up. Okay. So that's doing that. This is just held on with friction at the moment. So I know it looks good without the skull, or it looks good without the mask. But honestly, I think it looks better with the bloody mask on it. So I'm going to be putting the bloody mask on.
Death to the foul warriors of
In a
chaos.
moment. Give me a moment. There you are. You can see the teeth underneath. You can see the eyes poking through. I think that looks good. Perfect. It's looking good. All right, leave that off. Let that set. All right, we're gonna itch my face. We're going to grab. This one's going on this side. These ones thankfully have a nice like square thing right here, and that just goes over that square thing right there. So easy in that way. Let some glue. Line it up. Give it a solid push. On the other side. Slide some glue. Line it up. Best it from behind so you can see. Giggity giggity. Give it a solid push. Also best done from behind. Too many times I could say this before the wife starts getting frustrated. All right, so these things need to trim. Normally these have these two pegs here that slide into there. But since I am not, I need to trim these down. Mm-hmm. Okay, trim down a little bit. And that seems to be perfect. I don't know where the trimmed bits went. Oh, there's one. Okay. This. Put the glue on there. Put the glue on there. Put the glue on there. This one I'm going to do from the front just to be different. A little. Oh, all right. Need to pull it up a little bit. It's still making contact. It's not. Okay. Take that off of there. We're going to trim this one down a little bit more. Okay. Dip our hand in the glue just because I love feeling that rip my skin off. It's a highlight of my day. Mm-hmm. It's not making contact on the bottom. All right, so we can do it. It's not. So can do that. That'll hold there. Okay, hold that there. There's like shin plate thing. Glad I added the chains. I feel it would be lacking if it didn't have those chains there. Go away, bug. Okay. Not firm yet. That's what she said. On the next night, I'm going to be doing... I'm running over something. That one's going to be even more of a challenge because I'm going to have... So like on all my nights, I have the area here that's lower for when they're... That's like the ice is at this level of this rock in this bit right here. Just like on this guy right here on Snackers. So on the next one, the knight's going to be climbing up. It's going to be stepping up out of the ice. So I'm going to build up probably 3 layers high on the cork here because it's 2. I'm going to do another one higher so that it'll be stepping up onto that. And then I'm going to have another foot. The base foot is going to be in the resin. And I'm going to have the chains coming up from the resin to wrap around different parts of the knight. That's going to be fucking creative. I don't know. I have ideas of how to do it. Because I'm going to have to basically, I'm going to do it a bit different where I'm going to have to attach the legs to the base before I paint. Like I'm doing the bases and then painting them, but that one is going to be a bit different because I'm going to have it. The legs will have to be in there before the resin pour. I can paint most of it separately, position everything, get it ready, and then I'll have the spot where the foot's going to go. And then I'm going to glue chains to this down here in the ice and have them come up. That's where I got to figure out how to do the chains coming out. Like I want the chain to be coming out of the ice to it. And all that was talking so I could make sure that shin pad's firm, which it is now. So it's going to be some. You're correct. Something good, something bad? Don't know. We'll get to see. Okay, so we need to trim that down. Add a bit of an angle. Not too terribly worried because honestly the rest of these guys have come out pretty good so far. I glued bits of plastic to my finger. Okay. So I'm just going to hit that and that with the glue. Do that there, put a little coat down there, slap that on there pretty good, just in case that even touches anything. Goal is to have a Chaos Knight army that looks people are going to remember. Okay. Which they already do, kind of. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. I've got ideas on how to get it done. With the chains coming out. To figure it out. Because if I do the chains, if I assemble the legs on the base to begin with, then I could primer it. That might be the best way, honestly. Because then I could, like these chains here, I used the super glue, which is not holding very well right now. It's barely making contact. It's not making contact up there at all. Okay, so this needs to come down. Okay, get that out of there. But these chains, I use the super glue on them to stop them from like moving around, because I did not want that. I wanted the chains to be firm, because I mean, it's cool if it's like, you know, there and as it moves and stuff, but my problem is it's going to bounce, it's going to rub on the model. Just adds a level of complexity that I don't want. So if I kind of coat using the brush and this glue and coat the chain in that, it firms it up. So I knew those knee pads are going to take a little bit because they're not meant to go on that piece. That's the 3D printed part. This goes that there, remember. One time I tried to put this on upside down. Okay. Don't want that much glue. There, 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 there. 5 spots. Goes on like that. Doesn't even touch her. I thought it did. Alright, so that's that chest plate. So he's coming together. Alright. Carapace is next. This one always takes a little bit of wiggling because you gotta kind of squeeze it down into its. There's like pegs on here. It's gonna hit and get on. I always dry fit this a few times first to make sure I can see all the pegs are in the spots they are. This one is better than the other two. So just stand still there for a minute, bucko. So we do a layer glue back here. That peg. That peg. That peg. This one. This one. And then across the top. Do it over here. Here. Mainly on the pegs. Okay. Okay. Did just go on together for me, boy. Okay. Now for the exhausts. Good bug. Okay, check these. Check like these go either side. Okay, there's a thing up there to. It's a notch, very small notch, but there is a. Don't glue my hand to that. There's a small notch there. Exhaust. Next get this exhaust done. Got it touched in there. What's up are the shoulder pads. Good. These go. There's this glue this right there. That way. Tip you over. Line this up. Side. We're this close to being done. Well, almost. As once he's fully assembled, then I can do some dry brushing and some damage and stuff. There's bits in here. Get that out. Don't anything in the way of compromising a good, clean fitment for the glue to adhere. Spit it down. No, it invited those bits. That is correct. Bits. So I got this here, there, there. I'm going to hold it there, and there, and then push down. All right, so I feel like I should do like Squidmar for a big reveal. Put that over there. So now we can attach all the magnetized bits. Gun. That shield. The head. Shield's a little. I'm calling that the chew toy. And then the clock. I feel. Why is that so? No. It's like floppy. Should be floppy. Ooh, pretty message. The claw. So there is my Night Rampager. Mostly done. So then he's going to be on his base like this, standing over the broken Wraith Knight's sword. And such. So here's a comparison. Here's the Abominant, who's built at the standard height. See, the Rampager is easily a chunk taller. So only thing I want to work on at the moment. We're gonna let glues. We're gonna take these off real quick. That way, just in case it decides to take it. Figure out why this is so. Oh, I see what's going on there. They are dull. They're absolutely dolls. Just roughing that up. No, seem to. I wonder if I'm going to put a little bit. I know what to do. It's going to look crazy, but I'm going to put a tiny bit of a paint on this magnet up here because the magnet is right up at the top and it's too smooth. Not enough friction, so it allows it to just kind of wobble around. So I put this on there. That's a kind of a rubberized paint. Should do that. Alrighty, so put that in there. Don't need it's falling on my toolboxes. Goes there. Take a big piece of sponge. Okay, so let's put the arms back on. Shield trap a bit. Yeah, this one came across fantastically imposing. He's a beefy boy. So get some roofing steel. What we do is we take a bit of the sponge, and just kind of pinch it, and you dab in the paints, and then zip, 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 until you get right where you want, consistency-wise, and then just boop. Great way to do chipped, scuffed up paint. Look at that. Tip, 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 tip. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tip it, you know. Be conscious that it will pull a lot of paint, so you have to really make sure you don't use too much. This adds just a nice, inconsistent, kind of damage thing going on here. I've seen a lot of people use sponges on sticks to get cool effects. Could do that, but just use my hands. his head. I knocked his head off. Hooray for magnets. That's why we like magnets. Who knows to head into a not falling over. Not tonight, at least. The last thing to do to him is on the sign him. No, I'm not going to sign him. Is do a few touch-ups on the technical blood for the blood god, because I don't want those to have paint scrapes, because it's blood. I don't want there to be spots where it's got scraped off, or at least part of the damage, like right there. Just fill that back in a little bit with more of the blood for the blood god. Okay, so where that came together pretty good, I feel. So my new the replacement softbox for the display where the carnivore is will be here Wednesday, and that's going to go over there, and the big knights will be able to fit in that. So I'll be able to have a big knight on a rotisserie in there. So I think that's good. Yep, I did exactly what I wanted it to do. So we'll zoom on in. This is this big dude. So for Chaos Knights, the Knight Rampager, which is what this one will be fielded as mostly, is the melee knight. It is the fastest moving big knight. It is the hardest hitting melee big knight. And it gives bonuses to war dogs for melee. You gotta put like a piece of rubber on there or something to hold that from flopping around. But so I wanted this one to be extra, just extra. Now the Tyrant, who's the next one I'm going to build, he's the last of the big knights I have. He is going to be he's my warlord and is the biggest gun, basically. It has all the super duper powerful weapons. So there it is next to... Here he is next to Abominant, which is the Psychic Knight. Here it is next to a Carnivore, which is the little melee guys. So, I think this one turned out pretty fucking good. I'm happy. He's a little melee guy. Little, yeah, in perspective. So, I'm pleased. Bloodletters came out alright. Lots of blood everywhere. Wires from the head on his chew toy. See the Eldar. There's an Eldari hand in there. Alright, so with that, we got this one done. So then tomorrow, I'll start on... We'll start off tomorrow's stream by working on the base. I'll get the... Yeah, nice timing. I do agree, Nightshade. I'm going to do the... this Vallejo Diorama FX voodoo shit, which I put down on the bottom as the gloopy stuff. Over here, I'm going to build it up on this edge. So it's going to go from that rock to that rock. I'm going to try and build it up a bit as best I can and going around this to get a seal so that it can... Hopefully, that once I seal that off, then I'll be able to pour the resin in here. This one might need to... I might end up having to use a different effect. Because I do have this stuff, which I could build this up and then use the still water on top. And then use the ice surfacing stuff on there. I'll figure this one out. Tomorrow we're going to start out with the goop. And then we'll start the construction on the last big night I have. So with that, thank you everybody for sitting and chatting and everything. And I will catch you tomorrow.